Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. Hope all of you are doing well, preparing well for the upcoming prelims examination with a full Gist and enthusiasm. This is the video session on daily news and editorial analysis dated 29th of January. Through this video session, I'll be discussing the important news and editorial both from the Hindu and Indian Express. The comparison and the discussion of this particular news that we're discussing will specifically cater the aspirant of civil services examination, state public service commission examination, and various one-day examination conducted across the country. So we'll see the relevant news and its in-depth analysis from the examination perspective. So let's get started. First, I'll give you the highlights of the day. Then we'll proceed with the complete news analysis one by one. Before that, if you're new to our channel, you can just check out our All India Test Series program, Nishcha. This is specifically meant for UPSC CSA Prelims 2024, where we are providing 4900 plus questions. Along with that, the video discussion, demo test, and free magazine for content enrichment. If you want to instantly have a registration, you can use this QR code, or even you can check the description section down below for a dedicated link which will redirect to the specific page giving the detail about the Nishchay All India Test Series program. Now, starting with the news highlight, the first important news is about the FPI disclosure norm that has been updated by the SEBI, that is Security and Exchange Board of India. We'll see the detail to this. This is from the explained page of the Indian Express. The second important news talks about the RBI guideline on the state guarantee. We'll see how the state guarantees actually work. The third important news talks about India and Germany, that is coming up with the intergovernmental DNEA summary, something very important for India, which will be augmenting the overall capabilities of India. The second last news talks about the INSAT 3DS, something important satellite. It's about to set launch from Sriharikota. The name and venue become important for examination. And we'll conclude the session with editorial that talks about the burden of malnutrition. India is a country where have been frequent number of malnutrition reported. Despite several government efforts, the progress has yet not been met. So we'll see and understand the detail of this article as well. Starting with the first news, that is SEBI FPI disclosure norm, something very important which called for more regulatory measures in terms of the market regulator. So recently, the Security and Exchange Board of India, which is better known as SEBI, so they have enhanced the disclosure norm for a high FPI, that is the foreign portfolio investors, to become effective from 1st of February 2024. Now, why it was done? It was done to ensure that the market which is operated in India should have with a part of comprehensiveness, चाहे वो equity की market हो, debt की market हो, liquid market हो. There's certain type of market which is there in the security, even for the part of market exchange which is there. So there are certain major changes which has been brought in by the SEBI, the other part of SEBI, that is Security and Exchange Board of India. So what are the directives that was given by SEBI? So first in August 2023. So this is of late last year. What has happened that the SEBI has actually directed the foreign portfolio investors, जितने भी FPIs हैं, उनको ये डायरेक्ट किया गया कि 50% जो उनके एसेट है, आउट ऑफ 50% ऑफ देयर एसेट्स अंडर AUM, दैट इज एसेट अंडर मैनेजमेंट. अगर आपने किसी भी म्यूचुअल फंड हाउसेस के या स्टॉक के देखे होंगे तो उनकी AUM होती है टोटल कितने कॉर्पस की वो फंड है, राइट. सो दे हैव आस्क्ड दैट देयर इक्विटी कॉर्पस ऑफ AUM इन अ सिंगल कॉर्पोरेट हाउस होल्डिंग ऑफ इंडियन मार्केट should exceeding to 25,000 crore to disclose the detail. जो 25,000 crore से अगर ऊपर बढ़ती है तो सारी disclosures उनको बतानी होंगी about the part of entity holding ownership, economic interest, and the part of existing control. So it has bring more transparency. See, when it with the part of SEBI, जब से SEBI की market regulators में एक बहुत ही important भूमिका रही है, they have been playing a major role, and even in terms of market regulators, the part of derivatives which has been there has been quietly regulated by the Security and Exchange Board of the country. Now, these measures are aimed to curb the potential round tipping by certain promoters utilizing the FPI routes. So there was certain kind of other malfunctioning which was also reported, but now the FPI route has been more under the control of the SEBI. Now, what is the requirement of additional disclosures that the Security and Exchange Board of India has specifically come up with? Now, they have stated that they have expressed the concern with regards to FPI. किस तरह से सिग्निफिकेंट पोर्शन जो इक्विटी पोर्टफोलियो है सिंगल कंपनी में जो कॉर्पोरेट हाउसेस की होती है जिनकी AUM इंक्रीज हुई है लाइक from 25,000 crore rupees, the disclosure is a mandate. Now, there's a potential circumvent of the regulatory requirement, जहाँ पे disclosure will be there. They're part of certain terms that is important, that is substantial acquisitions of share and the takeover of regulations and even the minimum public shareholding that is listed with the company. So these part of the disclosures will be mandated by the SEBI. The detail of this is not essentially important from examination perspective, but basics आपको पता होने चाहिए. Now, SEBI has mandated that the foreign portfolio investors, जो होंगे, they will have to have a comprehensive information about their entities that is holding their ownership in the economic interest and overall control over the foreign portfolio investors. Now, moving ahead, the timeline to meet the disclosures now, there's certain part of the criteria that has been specifically mentioned by the part of the SEBI. So it has said जितने भी FPIs होंगे जो foreign portfolio investors हैं exceeding the investment limit of 31st of October 2023 must have an exposures by 29th of January, that is by today, unless the exemption is made. And if the disclosure hasn't been provided by the January end, FPI will get an additional 7 months for liquidations and with no immediate deadline as of now. And FPI में exemptions की बात की गई है disclosures को लेकर के. ऐसे FPI that who are the sovereign wealth fund, the SWF. If you're not aware of this, do check out your basic concepts. So it said that the listing companies on certain the global exchange, public retail fund, and even other regulated pooled vehicle has to be diversified with their global holding and even the part of exempted making the enhanced disclosure. So certain exemption has been provided specifically to the sovereign wealth fund. So if it is asked in prelims examination, you will be easily able to rule out the part of the statements. Now, the other news, that is RBI guideline on the state guarantee. This we'll see through this important article, the important part of the state guarantee which is there. So on January 16th, the working group of the RBI that was constituted, they have given certain recommendations with regards to the guarantee which is extended to the state government. For corporated house, we have BG, that is also known as bank guarantee, which is usually given by the corporate houses on a certain part of the loan, or you can say the debt that is taken against that, the BG is being given. It's called bank guarantee. So उसी तरह से state की guarantees होती हैं. We'll see the detail and relevant point. Now, what actually constitute the guarantee? Guarantee by term, it's very basic. It's mean a promise which is made by the state government to take a responsibility of money who can't pay it back. So the state government, the state here will be taking the responsibility on a specific entity. Now, this promise is a part of special agreement which is against a lender or an investor who is actually losing out money, and if the borrower is not able to repay, the state government will be liable for the whole amount. The lender or the investor is called the creditor, the person who owes the money, or the principal debitor. If the state government make it promise for the surety. Now, if it is the borrower, it can't pay back, the state will have to intervene, and the entire debt that is pending against that lender, I mean the part of the debitor who is there, will be liable to be paid from the state government itself. Now, definition of guarantee की अगर बात करें, it's more similar what we have discussed. Working group ने suggestions दी हैं कि जो guarantee होगी, that will be used in a broader sense, including all instrument, right? So it will create an obligation on the state. The state will be on the part of the guarantor making the payment on behalf of the borrower for the future date. And it is not the distinction that is made on the conditional and unconditional. The financial performance or the guarantee are also taken on the fiscal risk. So if you look at the part, I mean the guarantee wholesale will precisely call for, first it will call for the security of the amount which is there, and even the state government will be liable to pay the entire debt, right? Now, what is about the according guaranteed? The working group थी RBI की, so all the recommendations that was given, what by the RBI working group, this says that the financial part of the state should be replacing the budget resources. The guaranteed should create the liabilities and even other to the part of Government of India guidelines, covering only principal amount and not the interest or loan, right? And they should also note that the external commercial borrowing which is there should not have 80% of the project loan and should not extend to the private sector. So there's certain limitation and capping which has also been set out, which is close to 80%. Now, the risk of determinations, the part of risk determinations which is there, working group ने अपने suggestions में ये भी कहा कि जो states हैं, they will have to assign the risk weighted, right? So what will be the risk weighted which is there? First, it will categorize as a high, medium or low. So तीन categories रखी गई हैं. First will be high, then will be medium, and then it will be low. So accordingly, the part of the default records will be taken into consideration, like we have in the NPA, right? The non-performing assets. Now, the desirable ceiling guaranteed is suggested to avoid the physical stress in the case of invocations. Now, for incremental guaranteed, it is said that the proposal will set a ceiling for 5% of the revenue receipt and 0.5% of the CGDP, whichever is lower. So that will be how the things will be taken into consideration and the risk determinations will be evaluated. Now डिस्क्लोजर्स नॉर्म्स की अगर बात करें, जो वर्किंग ग्रुप थी आरबीआई की, उन्होंने अपने रिकमेंडेशंस में ये भी कहा है कि जो एपेक्स बैंकिंग रेगुलेटर्स होंगी लाइक एनबीएफसीज, दे विल हैव टू मेक एन एक्सटेंशंस टू द स्टेट ओन्ड कंपनीज बैक्ड बाय द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट एज अ गारंटी. The report emphasized कि जो data available होंगी will be issuers to the part of the lenders with the credit part, and the state government will have a adequate data and they will maintain the entire repositories. The government recommended that the establishment of comprehensive data will also extend to the part of guarantee. Now moving ahead, India-Germany intergovernmental DNEA submarine, something very important for India. India has been developing its part of the indigenous in the defense manufacturing or even for the technology transfer TOT. The Germany has officially proposed that it will sell 6 advanced conventional submarine to the Navy Project 75 procurement program. Why Germany news? Because recently India celebrated its 75th Republic Day, and on that Republic Day, the president of France was actually there, right? Now that is another point which is there. We have seen that other countries also making their robustness in terms of making a defense collaboration with India. इंडिया के साथ उस समय भी काफ़ी एमओयू साइन हुई. ये डिफरेंट है जहाँ पे आप दोनों कंट्रीज़ को अलग अलग अलाइन कर सकते हैं. जर्मनी की एक इम्पॉर्टेंट कंट्रीब्यूशन हमेशा से रही है इंडिया के डिफेंस में. Now, Project 75-1, the Project 75 belong to persuade under so-called strategic model partner equipped acquisitions. This requirement the Ministry of Defense to have a part of the capabilities and even to build supply for particular platform such as submarines, warship, and even the fighter craft. The advanced technology needed to obtain certain partnership, which is a foreign original equipment manufacturer, also known as OEM. So that has to be taken into considerations. नाउ इंडिया और जर्मनी की डील की अगर बात करें, दोनों कंट्रीज ने अपने डिफेंस मिनिस्टर्स के साथ पहले भी एंगेजमेंट की थे. दिस वाज in 2023 last year, where there was a complete part of agreement with the TKSM, that is Transfer Curve Marine System, with the part of India's defense minister that the Germany will be providing 6 submarine, the advanced submarine to India, and this was under the strategic partnership of defense procurement, right? And for India, we have MDL and Dalton and Turbo, which is actually making a shortlisting of the foreign partners on the submarines part. And advanced conventional submarines will be actually given to India under the TOT, that is Technology Transfer Agreement, right? Now moving ahead, INSAT 3DS satellite will be launched very soon, something very important and a pride moment for a country like India. ISRO, that is the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO has actually said that they will flag off the part of launch of the INSAT 3DS with the Satish Dhawan Center at Sriharikota. Now this is important for one-day examination also. तो अगर बात करें INSAT 3D की, ये क्या है, किस तरह से functions करेंगी? It's a meteorological satellite. So first thing first, that it's a meteorological satellite that provide continuity to the services with the part of INSAT 3D and 3DR satellite significantly have a capabilities on INSAT system. This satellite will monitor the land, ocean surface, weather forecasting, disaster warning, and even state-of-art payload, which will have a 6-channel imaging and even 19 channels around the meteorological payload and communications payload. So not only meteorological, it will have all other advancement which will further improve the overall capabilities of the communication satellites. The satellite is designed to provide the continuity of services in the Earth Observatory satellite, or ये जो satellite होंगे, this will be launched using the GSLV-40. Now this is again important for civil services prelims examination, where there can be direct question asking about the launch of the board which was actually used. Now SAS and R transponder, the SARS transponders की बात करें, it's a crucial component that has been incorporated in the satellite. It play a vital role in the alert detections, even the beacon transmissions, contributing to the global search and rescue operations and services. सांस की अगर बात करें, this transponder has been incorporated with satellite to rely on the distress signal and even the search and rescue which is there at the global receiving coverage. So this will also improve the overall communication part and giving extra edge to the India's communication satellite and even overall part of the capabilities for the ISRO as well. Moving ahead with the editorial for the day that talks about the burden of malnutrition. We have been continuously watching that the part of the malnutrition which is there in India and even for anemia, which has been there for quite long, has been persistent despite the government's several efforts. We have not made tremendous progress or substantial progress even to that fact. So something which has always been on the forefront, which India definitely need to counter at the earliest. Now, what we'll be discussing, we'll see the background, we'll see the reasons, the government measures, the challenges and concern, and the conclusion part. So first and foremost, the magnificence, obviously at the part of the malnutrition which is there, a काफी significant problem है India में, which has a large populations of India suffering from the malnutrition. Despite economic growth, काफी improvements हुई हैं, we have made tremendous progress in the economic progress. India is going to be the third largest economy. We have the emerging superpower. Despite all these challenges, the primary challenges, the foremost challenges of malnutrition has not yet been adequately addressed. Anemia is again a significant problem in India, where oftenly the children's and the adolescent children and the women's are the majority who are, they have been actually diagnosed with anemia. Substantial populations combine the part of children and women. Now reasons की अगर बात करें क्यों ऐसी प्रॉब्लम परसिस्टेंस रही है, तो वो कंसिस्टेंट इनटेक ऑफ फूड. अगर सबसे पहले बात करें जो फूड की इनटेक है, जो डेली रिक्वायरमेंट है, जो डेली कंजप्शन है, जैसे आरडीए कहते हैं रिक्वायर डेली जो ज़रूरतें हैं, वो काफ़ी कम है इन टर्म्स ऑफ पार्ट ऑफ विटामिन ए, जिंक डेफिशिएंसी एंड दैट हैज लेड टू द पार्ट ऑफ इम्पायर इम्यूनिटी. ना उसके साथ साथ जो सेलिक डिजीज़ है, लाइक इफ यू लुक एट एच पायरोली which I have already discussed in detail, you can check out the video. Warm insufficiency and even the part of digestive problem has also lead to the nutritional deficiency in the individual. Now nutritional deficiency से micronutrient की deficiency देखी गई है, anemic problems होती हैं mothers में and that further get transferred to the babies. This is also called as congenital disease, right? तो congenital disease के problems further देखने को मिलती हैं अगर कोई problem parents से offspring पे आती है. Now the government has been taking quite substantial measure. It might not be having a substantial progress although, but कुछ important measures की बात करें, anemia मुक्त भारत एक बहुत ही important है scheme जहाँ पे measures to tackle the disorder and even evolving the part of administrating the iron and folic acid tablets which is there for phyletic measures. Midday meal scheme is there for another part of the intervention. The government intervention with measures such as large scale food fortifications program which has been doing commendable well job in terms of overall reducing the part of malnutrition and anemia in the country. Challenges और concern की बात करें, सबसे बड़ी challenge ये है कि 46% of the South Asia's population have less access to affordable balanced diet. This is what the FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, has actually reported. और इंडिया की स्टेट और फूड सिक्योरिटी न्यूट्रिशनल रिपोर्ट इवन वर्ल्ड वाइड ये बताती है दैट 74% ऑफ द इंडियाज पॉपुलेशन कुड नॉट अफोर्ड हेल्दी डाइट and 39% fell short of the nutrition adequate one. Now, these are the problem which has been persistent in the country leading to the part of the consequences which we have reported with higher number of this, right? Now, if you look at the data as such, I mean, अगर कुछ precise data की बात करें जो आपके मेंस में आपको हेल्प कर सकती है, that is India's rank among fifth from the border countries in terms of malnutrition. 34% in children are under age 5. Every fifth children is undernourished, and even worldwide ये reports भी acclaim की गई हैं. 37% of children in India are aged 5 are stunned. Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan are the state with 5 highest malnutrition number. Right? You can use this as an example in the mains examination. Now to conclude the details, the averaging of the critical is very important. We need to have an awareness part. सबसे पहले हमें लोगों को ये बताना होगा they need to have an awareness campaign where people actually need to be aware how we can curb this problem. The fortified foods, the targeted beneficiaries need to be adequately, they should be adequately sorted. The important step is to have a information on beneficiaries, is strengthening the standard and the fortification part. Multiple awareness strategies can be apported to foster the part of great awareness. This also include utilizing the communication channels such as community radio, video, door-to-door outreach out. So this is something we can definitely come out. It is a long-term process, but definitely not that task which cannot be. We cannot achieve it. We will do it. But considering the fact the government measures, the public-private partnership, and even the awareness campaign will definitely help to achieve the target at the earliest. Now, moving ahead with answers and discussion for yesterday questions, that is for Saturday. The first question, the correct option is B. You can check out which among the following you have marked as a correct option. Option number 1, option number 2 is correct, and the last option is incorrect. You can read out the detail from here. For second question, the correct option is B. That option 1 is incorrect and option 2 is correct. This is with regards to the FCRA. Now, MCQ for today. The first important question is about the PM Young Achiever Scholarship Award Scheme for Vibrant India. It's a scholarship scheme that actually help the OBCs, economic backward classes, and DNTs. Scheme is under the Student Privilege Pre-Matric Scholarship only. The scheme is being implemented from the Ministry of Education. So what you have to do, you have to check for the correct option. Simply write question number 1 followed by your correct option, and you can drop down that in the comment section down below. Now, the second question, that is considering the following statement with regards to Aurangzeb, consider the following part. The part of Jizya tax, which was reinstated with this reason, was considered to be discriminatory against Hindu and other religious minority. He said that he's known for his pretty and observation of the religious practices. So you can pause this video, read out the statement one by one, check out the correct option, and you can drop your answers in the comment section down below by writing the correct option, right? So we'll definitely wait for your answers to be replied upon. It definitely give us more impetus on coming up with more good quality questions for you. This was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any other concern, queries about test series, admissions, new admissions, any other programs, you can reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for staying connected.